can't go, or they are at some place where they cannot travel to the office. And that's like for a week or 2 weeks or a month, maybe at stretch, right? But when you're doing it from home all the time, it needs to have certainly different aspects to it, right? You need to have some etiquette, some disciplines. I mean, working from home doesn't mean working from your bed. Working from home means that your workstation that was at a different location now have moved near to you. There's nothing else to it. People take it completely the other way, that now I'm home, I can do whatever I want to do. And all of this myth about that the production goes up when you are working from home, the sample size is very small. The timing is very small. I mean, we cannot base it. I mean, we only know this, for a month working from home, that the production goes up. The mental burnout is a lot more when you're working from home.
Absolutely.
And people don't
definitely.
space this out properly, right? People do not think that what they are doing is they're actually burning themselves out. They should not be working 16 hours a day if they're working from home. There should be a time routine starting from 9 a.m. to like 6 p.m. But people are, so I thought this may be a good idea to, talk about it.
No, I think you're right. I think even people with families, kids at home, they're not designating a set working hours, or maybe even a set room, and then maybe even being either interrupted, and then the disruption is being continuous, or it's the opposite. They're locked in the room working longer than what they usually would. There's no sort of
and the mental stress is too much. Let's say what happens at 5 o'clock, your last call was a stressful one, right? You get out of that call, you walk into the next room, and you take it out on whoever you are with. When you're coming back from the office, you have that 30 minutes commute to get your mind off. So what the mistake they make is they end the work, and without doing anything else, they just walk away to the next room. I always tell to my staff also that when you end work, sit wherever you are, spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes browsing something else other than work, take your mind off, listen to a podcast, go browse something else. So when you are walking to the next room, your mind is taken off. So your mental, your mental health is absolutely at the right place. You don't take it out on other people. So, these kind of little things that makes a big difference in someone's mental health also.
Absolutely. And I think workplaces don't discuss this, or they don't teach you this. And unless you go out there and invest your time in learning these principles or practices, it doesn't come natural to many people.
Absolutely. Like I have always worked from home, from office, from hotel. So I have always had this thing where I have staff working in the office in Milan, and I have somebody working in the office in Australia, and I am working at home, and somebody's working in the office in Dubai. So, we have always had this thing going on, and to go back and forth to all of this, people don't realize it, right? And I've been hearing this every other day. Oh, working from home, production has gone up. Everybody's happy. I'm working more. But how long can you do it? After 2 months, you're going to burn yourself out. I also always tell my staff that when you're working from home, don't connect your email to your phone. You know why? Because your office is next to your room, okay? You have your email in your phone. You look at your phone at 10:30 p.m., looking at a WhatsApp, and you see an email pop up. A progressive, natural reaction is, let me answer it. And you're going to leave what you're doing, and you're going to get to your computer, and you're going to try to answer it. The emails, every email has generally an emergency value, urgency attached to it by 24 hours. If somebody's sending you an email at 10:30 at night, they expect you to answer it by tomorrow afternoon. If it is very urgent, they will call you.
That's right. That's right. I agree.
Having the emails with the cell phones, if you're working from home, is counterproductive. And then what happens sometimes when you read it at 10:30 at night, and you said you will get to it tomorrow morning when you wake up, and it's already in the red, and when you are on your workstation, it's gone from your mind. and it's not there either.
Do you think though that people should be doing this? It's the same if they were in the office as well. So whether they're working from home or not,
Absolutely.
the same condition
I
applies.
Absolutely. I am a big believer of only having your emails connected to your phone while you are traveling. So if you're at the airport, you can't log in or something like that. But generally, I try to not have emails on the phone. If you are traveling, you have a laptop, Wi-Fi is everywhere, especially the important emails. Like I am one of those person that, okay, I have a one journal email account, everything from 5 different companies come into the one email. But then I have a sorting facility also, right? Then, Rebus textile emails goes to one box and the other to the other. I don't look at them on the phone. I always take time to look at it when I am at my laptop. If it is urgent, they will call me. But usually it's just a creature of habit, right? I am very good in following it up. I usually follow up myself, everything. People are not, as exactly as like that.
Stringent.
So
Yeah.
they do give it a time now and then. And then, people also working from home, they think, I hate this aspect that nobody's organized. They don't make a schedule. They don't make things to do. They just think working from home, it's okay. I am lazy. I can do this. And 1 week is excellent because we are all excited. We are working it, blah, blah, blah. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. After a month and a half, it actually starts to slide down then. Then you start to lag on everything that you're doing. Also, there's one big thing I tell to my guys when they are working from home is that after you work from home, you must go out from your home for an hour. Go walk, go for a jog. If you can't get out, at least go run somewhere. Do something else. Go outside because you need a change of environment.
Definitely. I think you're right, and you touched on a good point that usually most people do this when they're driving home or they're commuting on the metro or the tube or whatever. Yeah,
and
but,
also people when they are working from home, you have to start work at 9 o'clock. They will wake up at 8:55 and they will flash their eyes and go and start working. I always tell them, if you have to start work at 9 o'clock, stick to the same routine. Get up at 8, take a shower, have your coffee, read the newspaper, do everything else that you would be doing as you would be going to the office. Get your mind fresh completely, and then go to the desk and work at a routine from 9 to 6. And make sure that you keep breaks in between.
Maybe what would be your advice, or what do you say? Like a lot of clients or a lot of people just say they're just too busy, and maybe this is a time management issue.
Look, what most of us, including me at time, we used to forget about is what is the most important. The most important in working scenario is our mental health also. And when we are hyper-rating, when we are working, we completely ignore it, right? I give you an example. You have a long night of sleep. You get up in the morning. Unless you fresh your mind up with everything, maybe you've gone to sleep with some thoughts or something like that, and you wake up at 8:45 and you get on a call at 9 o'clock. It will take you at least 5-6 minutes to catch up with everything which you are going. You won't be as sharp as possible. So I always tell to my people at least that, look, get up early, half an hour, 45 minutes, have a cup of coffee, take a shower. And these are all mental things. I also always tell my people is do not start work in the same clothes that you went to bed with. It's a mental thing. It is a very mental thing. You have to change it. Get up, change, have a different attire. Maybe it's casual.
I agree.
So you know that you are in a working mood right now. You have transitioned.
I'm laughing, Amar, because do people actually do that? Do people actually?
They do. The people actually get. Look, I know people who will wake up at 8:45 in the morning. I have been on a Zoom call with a client, which he has just woken up at 8:45, and we had a call at 9, and he is in his PJ talking to me. Oh, that's fine. You could do that, but you have to have a mental block removed from your relaxation mood. I
I
mean,
think it
working from
ingrains.
home, exactly.
It,
Working from home only means that your work desk has moved your commute, which was 30 minutes. Now it's half a minute.
yeah, yeah, the 2
Exactly.
seconds. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
nothing else has
ingrains a
changed.
culture. Exactly. And if you get into
Absolutely.
these good habits now, then if and when we do move back to the workplace, even in months or years to come, whenever it is, these habits are still ingrained, and productivity still increases as a result of having these new habits.
Absolutely. And look,
Yeah.
if something is temporary for 2 months, 3 months, okay, you can do whatever you want to do. I don't think working from home is going to be temporary anymore. For many
Mm,
people, it may be forever, or maybe at least for a couple of years. So we need to get them organized. So they need to be organized properly. They need to look at what they need to do in the longer term, and organize that. Like so many people I have seen, they are having their lunch while they're still at the desk, right? There's lunchtime and I'm working from home. I don't need to go
yeah,
away. That's
I
absolutely
agree.
wrong. They need to
I
shut
agree.
down whatever they are doing, walk away from the desk, go have lunch, take your
Have
time
mental
off,
space.
have mental space, then come back and get to work.
Yeah,
Like
definitely,
this.
definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. It's
So
it's the bigger picture. It's not only your mental health, but again, mobility, for example, circulation. You've got a whole range
absolutely.
of other
Do
factors that
the
then affect
same
comorbidities.
Absolutely. Do the same thing as you would do while you're in the office. Every two
Mm,
hours, you go to
to the
have a glass of
pantry
water,
or
you go have a coffee. If you smoke, you go out and have a smoke, whatever.
yeah.
Just being at home doesn't change anything.
Definitely, I agree. I think maybe I want to just go back, but because many people, and myself included, would see things like, oh, I better do those washing, or I better go and do the dishes, and then you're completely sidetracked and your priorities change, and then it's not really the smooth flow work process that you
Right.
usually
Work
in.
is like what I do usually between, let's say, 9 to 5 is just work.
Mm,
Then everything else has to wait, right? That you
mm-hmm.
have to prioritize. Working from home doesn't mean that working for home. Working from
Yeah,
home
yeah,
means that you are working for the same organization. You're not working for home. You have to
yeah.
uh, keep those things in
Yes.
mind.
It's a really
So
valid point, honestly. I'm not sure in terms of mental health you talked about, but I think it affects both men and women, and it's something that's quite often not discussed very openly among the workplace. And I think it's important that we start encouraging people to discuss with their families if they're not in the right headspace, so that then it doesn't negative connotations from work or being cramped up doesn't reflect into the family environment or the home environment.
absolutely, the more
Sisters,
we are
brothers,
working
and
from absolutely, the more we are working from home, we are directly indulging our family directly into our work stress a lot more than we would if we are in the office, right? Doesn't
mm,
matter what we do, they are in the next room, we can walk. So that's why the zoning out at the end of the work is very important.
mm,
This has to be done very carefully because mental stress and the family relationship stress is increasing these days. Everybody's working from home and you still hear the things that people are going through. Everybody is at
mm-hmm,
home in a confined
mm-hmm.
environment. You have a bad work call and now you get out and take it out on each other, and things like
Mm,
that happen.
mm, mm, definitely. I want to ask you, as a very successful business owner and businessman, how do you deal or cope with different time zones and taking calls, emails? How do you work with that
Well,
concept?
again, as I said, if it is an email has a 24-hour urgency in my mind. If it is on the email, that means it can wait for 24 hours. It's not needed to be done unless it's in your time zone between 9 to 6. You can get on it. It's an urgency. Yes, at times you have to adjust your timings. Let's say if you're working on the West Coast, you have to be up to take a call from East at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, but it's always good to find a mutual time, right? Maybe one day you wake up early and one day they go to bed late, right? One day you are starting your day ahead of your time and one day they are doing the same thing. if you keep doing it, if you are the one who's always doing it, waking up at 4 in the morning so you can reach somebody in Asia, that is going to catch up on you.
Yeah.
These days, the strength also is very important. You need to sleep properly if you're working from home. Your immune is based on your sleep pattern, right? So you need to have that right, how can I say it, a right balance into it, that you don't overdo it.
Definitely. Yeah, I think sleep is something that's really underrated. I think people get so stressed up and caught up on their days that really sleep is actually one of the key factors to productivity, to keeping a good mindset. So yeah, I think you really touched on a good point.
Yeah,
cool.
and just basically do the same thing as you would do. Make sure you go away for lunch on your lunch break, shut it down, walk away, have something to eat, then come back, then start it. I mean, it's always a good idea to invest on a screen. Laptops are made for us to use during the travel. If you are working from home all the time, looking at a small screen can be,
your posture,
hazardous, or something like that. It's investing on a screen, $200-300. It's a very good investment. You can look up at a big screen all the time. I think the chair should be very comfortable, also postures and everything else, because everything else comes together at the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. The ergonomics of the environment should replicate that in the office, even though if you are in the home environment. I think because long-term as well, it's posture, for example, long-term effects are far worse than not investing in a $200 or $300 piece of equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. And also when someone is trying to locate the workspace for them in the house, it's best if you can have a room. But if you do not have a space for the room, make sure you find a place which is well lit. Near a window is always good, so you can always look around. If you are, if you like fresh air, maybe somewhere close to that, where you can have mix of everything together.
Yeah,
make it more acceptable to whatever you like.
Yeah, definitely. I think all of this advice that you have given can be taken from an international perspective. It doesn't matter where you are located in the world. So,
absolutely. Basically, it's all the same. Wherever you are in the world, the work science is the same. Basically, what you are trying to do is you are trying to get best use of your time. And while doing that, you are getting the best use of your time for yourself, for your organization, for your environment also, right? If you only concern about, okay, I'm going to work 16 hours a day, my productivity is going to high and my organization will be very happy with me. Yes, they would be. But what will happen after 3 weeks, 4 weeks? You're going to burn out. A burnout employee is no good to anyone.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You need to save yourself. You need to conserve your energy, work properly, and work in a very systematic
environment.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. So I would love to maybe give you a minute to be able to explain maybe a little bit about what you do or what your background, your company is for the audience.
Okay, what we do is we are a textile management and textile trading company. We develop products for various organizations. If you have anything to develop, let's say you are a designer, you want to develop a shirt, a home textile item or anything like that, and you don't know where to go with it from sourcing till the end, we do that. We also help relocate businesses. There is a business in the Western world that is now not meeting up with the price points and it needs to be relocated on the other side of the world. We help do that also. And we simply do the turnarounds also. If the business is not doing well, you need management consultancies, and we come in and help that. From all the way from Australia to Brazil, we have connections everywhere in the world. We have worked in more than 35 countries at the moment. And we also train sales staffs also for the various organizations, how to penetrate international markets, what to do, what is the sales culture, something like that. So if somebody needs a sales advice also, or a sales training, so to speak, we do that on a custom tailored basis. But basically, we are a textile trading, consulting, and management company.
I think you've got your hands in all the pies there, Amar. You've been very successful. So it's fantastic to chat with you. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, through my LinkedIn or through my website. So you can put the website on or the email on after when you make this on LinkedIn. But everybody is welcome to email me, inbox me, whatever they like to do. I am happy to help.
Super. Sounds really good. You have a fantastic LinkedIn, by the way.
Thank you. It is prepared only by the best of the best people in the industry. You always get the smart people to do the job. If something that you cannot do, don't try to do it yourself. If it is important, let somebody who can do it do it.
Yeah, this is a very good advice.
By yourself. That is
I
the
agree.
Basic principle of business, right? You try to stick to things that you can do and let somebody else do what they have to
what they excel at. I absolutely agree, and I encourage this as well, even for my own clients and my own thought processes. So thank you so much. I really appreciate and value all of your time my evening and your morning. Let's keep in touch. I'll put your details down in the link below, and people can reach out to you if they need any of your consultation or business services. And thank you very much once again.
It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.